Welcome everyone to another beautiful day at Jimmy John's Field in what is a matchup between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Dan, the Birmingham Beavers are off to a not so hot start. They're 0-2 to start the season. Meanwhile, the Diamond Hoppers, who they are facing, are 3-0. And on a day like today, where it's just absolutely gorgeous out, if anything, it's a little too gorgeous out. It's 86 degrees, 21 mile an hour wind going from left field across to right field. What do you think that the Beavers have to do today to cement their first win of the season?
Well, they had some time off to think about it and get those practice in with the hitting wise. But, I don't know about this Eastside Diamond Hoppers. They're off to their 3-0 start. They're off to a great start, that is. You have your best pitcher right now going at it tonight for the Birmingham Beavers, which is Randy Wynn, that is. And last time out he had a strong start, but wasn't up to that he wanted.
The Diamond Hoppers are off to a fantastic start, 3-0. They've played one more game than the Beavers did in a closed game, a game that the public wasn't allowed in on. And they just are the only undefeated team, and they're just continuing to roll.
Yes.
And I think for them to know that you're coming up against the Beavers, who are one of the teams that is not performing as well, I'm worried that it might go a little to their head.
Yeah.
So with them, with their pitcher today, they have Connor Root going out for them, and he's proven to be a solid pitcher.
Yes.
And what do you believe that he needs to do today to make sure that his team stays level-headed and doesn't get too cocky?
Well, we know Connor Root can go at least 5 innings strong, which he did last time out. He only gave up 1 run, had 2 hits, and had 8 strikeouts. If he continues that pitching performance he did the other night, which was against a 6-3 win over Utica Unicorns, which was back on Mother's Day on Sunday, if he continues his performance like he did, it's going to be a great start for him.
Today is a interesting day for sure. Not just not due to baseball, but due to the on-field events that is taking place.
Yeah.
It is Central Michigan night here at the ballpark, and throughout the season there are going to be multiple nights like that, where there is it's a night where we're respecting alumni from colleges.
Yeah.
But it's not just Central Michigan night. These Thursdays double up as a Heritage night as well. And tonight we had Irish Heritage Night.
Yes.
And just on the field, we had 2 different sets of Irish folk dances, and over in our concert in our concert venue off just past right field wall, you might be able to see on the camera there, we had a Irish folk band, and I have to say, it was interesting.
Yes.
Not my taste in music, but it was definitely not bad.
Yeah, and if you go to Tigers games, there's only at least one event going on.
Yeah.
But here at Jimmy John's Field, we have 3 a night at least.
They're just jam-packed, that's for sure.
Yep.
Right now in the field, they're doing the first pitches. And that's another thing that's interesting about Jimmy John's Field is the fact that you don't always have one first pitch. We did last Sunday, but today it looks like we have 4 or 5.
Yes.
And it's really giving these fans a chance to get represented and get their names out there in the community.
Exactly. And I can't tell you how many times when I was down on the main concourse I heard Fire Up Chips. Yes, it's Central Michigan night. So like you were talking about, alumni here, students are here as well.
Just amongst us interns, there are many of these Central Michigan interns, and they all came repping their gear, and I got to give them mad respect. They really are passionate about their college.
Yeah, me and you are from OU, so, it can go both sides.
Yeah, when we have OU night, I'll be repping my gear. I'll be choosing which shirt I got to pick out. I got to pick out the nicest one. But like I mentioned earlier today, it is a hot day here at Jimmy John's Field. 86 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy, so you're not going to get much break. The shadows are just starting to break across home plate, and as the sun continues to go down, it'll stretch across the field. So I wonder if that's going to play an effect on the pitching and hitting matchups going into this, where the hitters are in the shade and the pitchers have to pitch into the sun.
Yeah, it could happen, but it's a beautiful day. The only negative factor is the wind. But it's going to be very helpful for the hitters, I believe.
Yeah, it was brought to my attention earlier today that the pitchers are going to be very careful about how they attack their batters
Yes.
because of the fact that this strong wind is blowing 21-mile-an-hour wind gusts today, and we've witnessed it firsthand with tons of this stuff blowing around. My hat flew off my head earlier today. It's blowing from left field to right field, and it is any soft fly ball that's going to hit to right field is going to be warning track at least.
Exactly.
It might be turning into a home run fest unless these pitchers can accurately battle these batters and get them into ground outs and strike them out.
You're right, Brian. Yeah, it's going to be, it's beautiful out. It's a beautiful evening, and hopefully it continues this weather throughout the weekend here at Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah, and another strange thing is tomorrow is only supposed to be 57 degrees. So today we're all out in t-shirts and shorts, but tomorrow we're going to have to bring jackets. So just heads up to any of you coming to the ballpark tomorrow, bring jackets because it's supposed to be only a high of 57.
Yep.
We just had our umpires come out onto the field, so that's good. Tonight's umpiring, were you able to catch that?
I wasn't able to catch the umpires, but I know the coaches are exchanging the lineup cards right now.
The lineup cards, which we had earlier today, snuck into the clubhouse to catch so we could fill this out ahead of time.
Exactly.
Because if we waited until the lineup cards were up on the screen, it'd be a little too late.
But we want to go through those lineups.
Yeah. Starting off, let's start with the away team. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers today, they have, starting off, the first batter, the right fielder,
The right fielder.
the right fielder, Joe Moroni. The left fielder at number 2, Chris Power. The second baseman, Cam Stewart at batting third. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Casey Chenoweth. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Esteban Gomez. Batting sixth, the DH, Brian Bilello. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Ricky Castro. Batting eighth, the catcher, Kyle Figueroa. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Brandon O'Brien. Starting pitching for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Connor Root. And your starting lineup for the home team, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, is at batting first at left field is DeAndre Clark. Batting second in center field is Gerard Hernandez. Batting third in right field is Nicholas Buckner. Batting fourth at first base is Shane Gonzalez. Batting fifth, the DH, John Crank. Batting sixth, the third baseman is Dan Kennan. Batting seventh, the catcher, San Martin. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Thomas Rulis. And batting ninth, the shortstop, DJ Martin. And pitching for the Birmingham Beavers is Randy Wine.
Yeah, like we were talking about, Randy Wynn, last time out, went 4 innings strong, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts. Now for Connor Root, he's at the positive end here. He had 5 innings pitched, 1 run, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, and that was back on May 13th against the Westside Woolly Mammoths, and that was a victory for him.
Yeah, it was definitely... the pitchers have been doing their jobs all around, but pitchers that want to be careful today, I think the one pitcher that Root is going to want to be careful of is... that Wynn is going to want to be careful of is Chenoweth, because last time out on Mother's Day, he had two RBI and hit the first home run of the season.
Yes, he did. And then he had 5 hits. That's who to watch out for, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. But you also have Esteban Gomez for them. He had 4 RBIs with 2 hits, and he had a home run as well. So, I mean, it's great. It was a friendly ballpark, home run ballpark that is on Sunday. Hopefully, maybe can continue tonight with the wind help.
See, Chenoweth on Sunday had gotten the Player of the Game honors, but another one for the Beavers that really deserved, the Hoppers that really deserved some recognition was Alexander, the relief pitcher.
Yeah.
Where Keith struggled with 4 innings pitched and 2 earned runs, Alexander came in relief and pitched a strong 4 innings and had led only 1 hit up with 0 earned runs and 3 strikeouts. I think he, personally for me, stole the show.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're the manager, that's what you want from your relief pitching. You want them to come in, get the job done, give up no runs. Yeah, and be strong.
Well, you're
He
also
was.
giving yourself a strong. You're giving yourself, a strong case to come out in more pressure situations, because at that time when he came out, the game was still close.
Yes,
it
it
ended
was.
up not being so close.
But
Another player I'd watch out for is, or I'm sorry, not a player you'd want to watch out for, but a player that needs to really step it up, in my opinion, is Stewart. Now,
Yeah.
Stewart is batting third today, but he went 0 for 4 on Sunday and just really was not a very impressive performance at all.
no, not at all. Like you were saying, Brian. But he still only has one hit of the season. That's basically the struggle. Only giving one hit. But maybe it's all turn around tonight.
Well, yeah, every single day is a new game.
Yes.
You got to make sure you come out and not dwell in the past. And like I said in the Hoppers case, you don't want to get cocky. You want to make sure that you come out with a level head, and the Hoppers are going to want to do that here today. And for the Beavers, they got to realize that just because they 0-2 to start the season, there's a lot of season left to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, everyone wants the honor of being the first team to beat the undefeated team.
And for the Birmingham Beavers, can't forget about them. DeAndre Clark had 2 hits last time out, and then you also have Nicholas Buckner. That's the 2 I'm going to watch out for in this ball game. They both have 2 hits of the season, just because they haven't got any runs on the board at all in their games. But hopefully, like I said, it's a fresh new week.
The fans are still filling in here at Jimmy John's Field, and there are quite a few seats left in the stands. But I'd imagine by third inning that it'd fill out pretty nicely. I mean, who would want to miss Chick-fil-A night? Thursdays are always Chick-fil-A night at Jimmy John's Field. How could you miss that?
Yeah, Brian, stop it. I'm getting hungry here.
Well, the closest one you can go to is the one that's over at Oakland University.
Yes.
Or
Somerset.
Or Somerset Mall, which I've heard is a 3-hour wait. I mean, just so you know, anyone listening in, you definitely want to come to Jimmy John's Field on Thursdays because we have a Chick-fil-A booth. You can't get that anywhere else.
No. Yep, you only can get it here, or you're going to travel the extra miles to Oakland or to Somerset. Yeah, they're still doing the introductions here for the Beavers. But, yeah, like you said, it's a great evening. CMU night, Irish Heritage night. We have a huge weekend of events going on here at Jimmy John's Field.
Every weekend we have a lot of events. We also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle night coming up as well.
Yeah, that's going to be on Sunday.
In which Leonardo and Michelangelo will make guest appearances.
Ooh.
It looks like they're going to send it down to the field for the national anthem now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor Irish Heritage Night with the singing of our Irish national anthem performed this evening by Jamie Galloway.
We'll sing a song, a soldier's song, with cheering bells ring chorus. As round our blazing fires we throng, the starry heavens o'er us, impatient for the coming fight. And as we wait the morning's light, here in the silence of the night, we'll chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land beyond the wave, sworn to be free, no more of ancient Ireland will shelter the despot and the slave. Tonight we'll man the bourne of wheel, and Ireland's cause come roll or reel, mid cannons roar and rifles peal. We'll chant a soldier's song.
With your head, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, please remain standing and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute. The singing of our national anthem tonight will be performed by the Eisenhower High School Show Choir.
Oh, say, and you
Outstanding job. Let's give those young people a hand. Outstanding job. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Irish Heritage Night, we here at the United Shore Professional Baseball League would like to bestow on you an Irish blessing at this time. So, may the road rise up and give you a wind. May the wind be always blowing out. May the sun shine warm on your box seat. And until we meet again, may the memories of summers at Jimmy John's Field never be far from your thoughts.
Oh, welcome back, everyone. Well, in addition to our national anthem here in the United States, we also, because of Irish Heritage Night, had the Irish national anthem, which seems a bit longer than the American, but it was nice. If you listen to the lyrics,
it was beautiful.
It sounded like a soldier's song. It was very nice.
And what a beautiful job by the Eisenhower, was it symphonic choir?
It might have been the concert choir.
Oh, concert choir. Yeah, they did a wonderful job with our nation's national anthem.
Yes, they did a fantastic job. The whole group as a whole just really knocked it out of the park. And the best part was it really didn't drag on too much. I'm not a fan of national anthems that drag on.
Yeah.
They sang it and they did their job well. Anyway, the Randy Wynn is warming up on the mound now, and the play ball goes up on the scoreboard. So now we have to just wait for Joe Maroney to step in, and we can start this ball game. 7:07 is the time.
A beautiful evening for baseball.
Yeah, and it's going to stay warm throughout the night. Even as the sun falls down behind the clouds, below the horizon, it's going to still be in the 70s. So don't have to worry about bringing a jacket or anything today. Joe Maroney approaches the plate.
And your attention, ladies, leading off for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, the right fielder number 13, Joe Maroney.
He digs in on the left side of the batter box. Here comes the pitch. And that's 0-1 on Joe Maroney. First pitch comes at 7:09 with the starting temperature at 86. That one misses high. 1-1 on Joe. There's the kick. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Maroney takes a second out of the box to collect himself, readjust his gloves.
What I noticed about the Eastside Diamond Hopper hitters, they love to take their time at the plate and focus on in.
Swing and a miss. Randy Wynn starts the ball game with a swinging strikeout. Good way to start for him. Not so good for the Hoppers. That's up to Power now to try and get on base.
Chris Bauer has, of the season, 1 hit and has 1 RBI.
Went 1 for 4 the other day with a single and a steal. That one misses outside, so it's going to be 1-0 on Chris Power. The one thing that you really want to notice about what Power did on Sunday is he had that phenomenal diving play out in left field. Another one misses outside, make it 2-0 on Chris Power.
Yeah, we seen a lot of diving stops last game on Sunday, on Mother's Day, and it gave the crowd
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
believe
seeing.
his counterpart was Cruz. Another ball misses outside. It's 3-0. Not a good. After a quick strikeout from Randy Wynn, he gets out of it early in a 3-0 count. Now 3-1 after that last pitch was called for a strike. So it seems Power is doing what his predecessor in the. Oh, he grounds this one over to the third baseman. He bobbles it, and Power will reach safely on an E5 by Kennan.
Yeah, Dan Cannon just lost his footing as he was focusing on the batter more than his footing and getting that throw over to first.
I'm wondering if he slipped because the ground is still wet. Because if you look over there, it looks like the ground is still damp from where they're watering it. I'm wondering if that attributed to why he slid over there. Now Cam Stewart steps into the box, waiting on the first pitch. Here it comes. Flung down the third base line, but it was just foul. Kennan tried to make a diving play, but no dice. So it will be 0-1 with one out and one man on.
Yeah, as soon as that infield dries up, it's going to get windy. The wind's going to blow all that dirt away. It's going to get in everybody's eyes.
Win sets. Here comes the kick, and swing and a miss. 0-2 on Cam Stewart. In this situation, I think that the thing that's in Cam Stewart's mind, besides making contact on the ball, is I don't think he wants to hit into a double play here.
No.
You don't want to end the inning right after your guy managed to get on. Even if you got on with an arrow, getting on a base in general is a good thing.
Exactly.
That ball was way outside. Now it's 1-2 now on Stewart. This is something I've noticed. It's early yet, but Wynn has thrown quite a few balls far outside, to the right side of the plate almost, where the catcher has to. This ball is hit to the shortstop. No play at second, thrown over to first, and that is a 6-3 ground out.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5.
Great lead off of first by Chris Power, getting to second base safely, forcing no double play there for the
Well, like I mentioned,
Birmingham Beavers.
the biggest fear, or the biggest thing that they don't want to accomplish there is hit a double play. And Power did a good job of getting a healthy lead so that he took the double play out of equation. Now, Chenoweth stands in, the man who hit the home run the other day, and I would like to think he wants to hit another one here, especially with this really strong wind.
Yes, he's the power hitter of this lineup so far this season, besides Esteban Gomez, who's up right after him.
A single could score. Power from second, though. First ball swung on, grounded. That ball was thrown on and missed. Now Power's heading home, and the throw is off there, and he got home. Chenoweth runs all the way to second on an E1. The pitcher, Wynn, that ball was just barely nubbed halfway to the mound, and Wynn went over to get it, and when he went to throw it over to Gonzalez, he was off base. So Gonzalez had to get off base, allowing Power to score from second. And when the throw from Gonzalez came home to San Martin, it was off off line as well. So Power was able to score. So that was an error on Gonzalez and Wynn.
Yeah, a lot of errors going on in one play.
So now we're in the first inning, but have 3 errors that have now got the Hoppers a 1-0 lead. Gomez stands in, takes a called strike. It is now 0-1.
These Diamond Hoppers like to capitalize on these errors because we've seen a lot of errors on Sunday as well when they went up against the Unica.
You're right. We have seen quite a few errors this weekend, or last weekend. Another pitch comes in. It misses outside. It'll be 1-1. Wynn's got 2 outs, so I'd think to imagine that his job, his thinking right now is not the runner on second, but just getting out of this inning. Gomez swings and misses. It's now 1-2. We got one. It's 1-2 with 2 outs. You have Chenoweth on second, and you have 1 run scored. It's Hoppers lead 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Swung on a miss. 2 strikeouts then end the inning. The Hoppers lead the Beavers 1-0 off of 3 errors committed by the Hoppers. Or, I'm sorry, 3 errors committed by the Beavers, and we will be back right after this break. All right, welcome back. The bottom of the second, where the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers get a chance to retaliate off of 3 errors committed, allowing for 1 run. Leading off for the Beavers is going to be DeAndre Clark.
He has 2 hits so far this season for the Beavers.
Well, I hope it'd be for the Beavers. All right, he digs in. Here comes the first pitch from Root. That one swung on, fouled off to left of third base, and Figueroa couldn't get over to make the catch. So it'll be 0-1 on DeAndre Clark. Here's the kick and the pitch. Swung on over to Stewart. Stewart over to Gomez, and that is 1 out.
Now batting the center fielder, number 11, Gerard Hernandez.
Only 3 pitches there pitched by Root to get Clark.
Yeah, it was very effective at bat for Root, getting him only 2 pitches. First one fouled off, and the next one grounded over. And like I mentioned earlier, grounding out is what these pitchers want to accomplish, because with this wind, these fly balls are going to fly out of here in no time. Now Hernandez steps into the plate. Here comes the first pitch. That one is high, and Figueroa couldn't corral it. But luckily, with no one on base, you don't have to worry about the threat of anyone moving up. So it'll be 1-0 on Hernandez. Root adjusts his shoe up there, and Hernandez gets back into the box. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be inside. It's going to be 2-0 now on Hernandez, not Fernandez. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on straight up the middle. That's going to be a base hit to the center fielder, O'Brien. And Hernandez has the first hit of the ball game, despite it being a 1-0 deficit for him.
The right fielder, number 6, Nick Buckner.
Good piece of hitting there from Hernandez. Split the second baseman and the shortstop, Stewart and Castro. Landed just in front of the center fielder, O'Brien. Placed it right where you want to for a base hit like that.
Exactly, and Hernandez was ahead in the count. They had a 2-0 count, and he just drove it to center.
Well, when you get ahead like that, it really lets you sit on the ball you want. Buckner in the box now. He waits on the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Going to be 0-1 on Nick Buckner.
Nick Buckner, I said in the pregame that who I'm going to watch out for tonight. He has 2 hits so far for the Beavers.
Here comes the 1-0. Swung on. Going to land just short of the left fielder, and that's going to be a base hit. Now you have a runner on first and second with only 1 out. Now you have a scoring threat. Let's see how Root handles this with Gonzalez coming up to the plate and a chance to tie the game.
Something we haven't seen from the Beavers yet this season. They're off to a great start in this game.
Root gets ready. Checks back to second. Pitches. Swung on and missed by Gonzalez. It's going to be 0-1 on him. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Actually, he might have gotten a piece of that because Figueroa wasn't able to get it. But regardless, it's going to be 0-2.
Yeah, Root really pinned that pitch inside. Luckily,
it almost looked like
Gonzalez
a desperation swing by Gonzalez. Just trying to make contact. He probably wants to tie this ball game up, I'd imagine. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and blooped over the foul territory, and Gomez is able to make the catch in foul territory and holds the runners at first and second as well. So that's going to be a put out by the first baseman.
Yeah, the foul territory here at Jimmy John's Field is very large.
Yes, and you made the comparison last week to the Oakland Athletics baseball field, and it's true. We have a very large foul territory, and it has come in handy for these baseball teams in last week, and I'm sure the weeks coming up. Crank steps into the box now. Here's the pitch. It's going to be just a tad outside, 1-0 on John Crank. That pitch is in for a strike. It's going to be 1-on-1 on John Crank. 1-1, 2 outs. Men on first and second. 1-0 Hoppers, though. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and flown out to the left fielder Power. Caught just shy of the warning track, and that's going to be it for this half inning. Despite threatening, the Beavers were not able to score and tie this ball game, so we're going to go to the top of the second with the Diamond Hoppers winning 1-0. All right, welcome back to the top of the second where the Hoppers lead 1-0. Brian Valello steps in, the DH, and they're hoping to keep rolling with what they did last time. Despite not having any hits, they have a 1-0 lead just off of errors.
Yes.
It seems luck is on their side. Here comes the first pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right field patio, and it'll be 0-1 on Valello. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and chopped over to Cannon at third base. Thrown over to Gonzalez, and that's going to be 1 out. It's very strange how Rue and Wynn are beginning to mirror each other. After Wynn got out and was able to get his first man out, Clark with just 2 pitches. Now Rue's able to do the same thing.
Exactly. The only one that's leading in strikeouts right now is Wynn. He has 2 so far in this ballgame.
All right, here's the first pitch to Castro. Swung on and missed. They'll be 0-1 with 1 out. No men on. That ball is swung on and hit, flown over to the right fielder, and he's not able to corral it, so that's going to be an E9. Hernandez gets it. So Castro gets into second base with a double. Flown out there. It looked like Buckner might be able to get it, but he just wasn't able to get there. So Castro hits safely.
Yeah, definitely Wynn had a lot to play with that play.
And I stand corrected. They ruled that a hit, not an error. Now Figueroa stands in. He sees his first pitch. He swings on it and chops it out over to Wynn. Wynn throws over to Gonzalez, and that's going to be 2 outs now. Meanwhile, Castro is able to advance to third base on that ground out.
Now batting the center fielder, number 40, Brendan O'Brien.
So with a man on third and 2 outs, O'Brien steps in with the opportunity to extend the lead for the Hoppers. O'Brien, possibly the only person on these 2 teams with an obvious Irish last name.
Exactly.
O'Brien on Irish night. It can't be any coincidence.
And of course they have the Irish music playing in the background.
For his walk-up song, yep. He sees his first pitch. It's going to be a strike, 0-1. Meanwhile, a Let's Go Hoppers chant starts over in the crowds below us as one of our friendly interns walks down below us with his very Irish gear. You'll probably be able to see him in front of the camera. O'Brien sees the second pitch of the at-bat, swings and misses. 0-2 on him now.
Yeah, great crowd this evening.
O'Brien steps out to readjust his gloves and probably gather his thoughts. Wynn decides on a pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and fouled off to the left field, the netting off to the left side. And it is staying 0-2. O'Brien just trying to stay alive here with his man on third. Wynn sets, throws, swung on right up the middle. That'll score the run. And O'Brien will have a 2-out single and an RBI. So it is now a 2-0 lead for the Hoppers. As the top of the lineup comes back up, Joe Moroni. Joe Moroni steps in. Wynn takes a cautious look to the first, throws, and it'll be a strike, 0-1. Joe Moroni striking out his first time up, looking to improve on that. It was 0-2 his last game as well, with a walk and an intentional walk. Here comes the 0-1. O'Brien successfully steals second base. Meanwhile,
Yeah, Wynn really not paying attention there and to the first baseman.
he gave a cautious look before the first pitch, and now it looks like he's just trying to get the second out. Similar situation happened last time. It's one-on-one of Maroney. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and fouled off to the left of home plate. It's kind of a chopper. Didn't really get a whole lot on that one, so it'll be 1-2. Wynn decides. The kick of the leg, the 1-2. It's going to be outside, and San Martin wasn't quite able to corral it, but it didn't get too far away, so O'Brien wasn't able to advance. But it'll be a 2-2 count now with 2 outs on Joe Maroney. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, and that'll be a base hit that splits the gap, possibly more. Meanwhile, O'Brien comes around to score. And Maroney comes in with a safe double, stand-up double. What a good piece of hitting for him to split the gap between Buckner and Hernandez out there in right field.
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, when you hear the crack of the bat right there and the wind taking that ball,
yeah, you really
splitting the gap.
You really did hear that bat baseball contact there. Chris Power electing for the country music walk-up song. Looking to get on base for the first time today. Or, I'm sorry, the second time today. His first time on base, he was hit into an error, so he reached safely despite him being 0-1 on the day. Wynn decides. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be a ball low, so it'll be 1-0 on Chris Power. Chris Power saw 4 pitches in his last at-bat, 3 of which were balls. He had the 3-0 count when he hit into that error. And just like last time, he's out in front of this one at 2-0 now, after watching another ball come by him. And Power is practicing patience at the plate so far today.
Yeah, right now he's in the front of his hitters count.
Here comes the 2-0. Another 3-0 count now against Chris Power as that one comes in as a ball. So what do you think now? Chris Power as a man on second? You think he swings or you think he sits on it?
I think he sits on it.
Well, after his last time up when he hit into that error, I think he sits on it as well. Here comes the 3-0. Swung on and hit over to the third baseman, Kennan, where he bobbles it again, but this time is able to corral it, throw over to Gonzalez, and that'll be 3 outs. We have played now an inning and a half, and it is 3-0 Hoppers. And when we come back, the Beavers are going to be up Alright everyone, welcome back to this game between the Beavers and the Hoppers. It's bottom of the second and the Beavers are up. Leading off for the Beavers is Cam Stewart. Leading off for the Beavers is Dan Kennan. Had the wrong scorecard in front of me still, didn't switch over. He sees the first pitch and it's in for a strike.
Connor Root coming out to this inning with a comfortable 3-0 lead.
Yeah, despite the defensive lapses in the first inning, they really came together last inning and, was able to get it. The 0-1 swung on and fouled over top of our heads behind home plate. So it'll be 0-2 on Dan Kennan. And Root really, despite the errors his defense made, he doing a good job.
Yeah, only throwing 13 pitches back in the first.
Here's the 0-2. That ball's missed way high, and it'll be 1-2 now on Dan Kennan.
First time seeing Dan Kennan in this Birmingham Beavers lineup.
He's a newcomer, but new players come and go every year, and so this is his chance to really shine. 1-2. Swung on over to Chenoweth. Chenoweth throws over to Gomez, and that's 1 out.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Bobby San Martin.
Only needing 4 pitches to retire Kennan.
And coming up into the plate now is San Martin. Root continues to do a good job. Here comes the first pitch. Sat on it for a strike. It's now 0-1 on San Martin.
Another newcomer for the Beavers.
Bobby San Martin, number 4. Plays the catcher. Another pitch comes in. It's called for a ball. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Pop. Looks like it's flying out to O'Brien at left center field. 2 quick outs now for Connor Root.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Thomas Bulls.
I lost the ball in the sky there, so I was trying to figure out how far it went. I saw O'Brien wasn't nearly at the warning track, so I knew it couldn't have been too bad of a fly out.
No. That wind, once again, playing a factor.
Stepping in now is Thomas Rollis. Getting his first look for the day. Here's the first pitch to him. That ball right down the middle. It'll be 1 strike. 77-mile-an-hour pitch. Root sets, throws, swung on straightaway center field. O'Brien actually had to backed up a couple steps and had to come in.
Beavers out in order in the second inning.
And in quick three batters, Connor Root gets out of the inning. And it is still 3-0 Hoppers. And next up is the top of the third inning where the Hoppers come back at it. We have Stewart, Chenoweth, and Gomez leading off, and we will be back shortly. All right, welcome back everyone to the top of the second inning, or top of the third inning, correction. Cam Stewart leads off here. First time up, he grounded out to Martinez over at shortstop. Looking to maybe not do that again, I'd imagine.
Yes.
Seems pretty fairly obvious. Doesn't need to be said. Still got some more softy balls being thrown out. Here's the first pitch. Taken for a strike, 0-1. 69-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Here comes the 0-1. That ball couldn't be corralled by San Martin, but with no one on base, there's really no threat. So it's going to be 1-1 now on Cam Stewart.
Fans are piling in here at Jimmy John's Field.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled directly right back behind home plate. Thank God that netting's there. It's hard to imagine that netting was never not a mandate in baseball or any other professional sport, because it seems like such a common sense thing, but I guess you live and learn, or in some cases not. Here's the 1-2. Grounded over to the shortstop Martinez, thrown to Gonzalez, and that'll be 1 out. And Cam Stewart has a serious sense of deja vu there as he grounds into a 6-3 ground out on 4 pitches yet again.
Yeah, once again to...
Seems to have a knack for that.
Once again to DJ Martinez.
Yeah. And Casey Chenoweth steps in, reached last time on an error, was able to advance all the way to second because of that. Here's the first pitch. Swung on a missed on a 71-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch.
Chenoweth, one of the power hitters in this Eastside Diamond Hoppers lineup.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, he had that home run on Sunday, and he had 2 RBI because of that, because it was a 2-run home run, and went 2 for 3. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Win quickly gets out to a 0-2 count.
And Chenoweth reached safely on an error last time out.
Well, it's been a small sample size, so we'll see if he can really maintain that kind of power. But like I said, he's only played, this will be their fourth game. This is only their 4th game, so it's a long season. And just to say that he is going to be a great hitter is a little bit presumptuous because of the fact that it's so early yet. Here's the 0-2. Swung on half-heartedly and popped out to Martinez. So that's the sole putout on that one.
Martinez doing a lot of work so far.
He kind of checked his swing there and just didn't really look like he wanted to make contact in that about halfway through, and just unfortunately ended up doing it. So it's going to be a quick 2 outs now for Randy Wynn as he looks to make this a 1-2-3 third inning. That first ball is in for a strike. It's now 0-1. Here comes the pitch, and it is outside, 1-1. Gomez struck out his first time. Struck out on 5 pitches. Here's the 1-1. That one is grounded over to Rollis as he throws to Gonzalez, but off the base path, so Gomez is able to reach safely.
Very odd play there, Brian.
I'd imagine that there would be an error to Rollis on that one. It's definitely been a lot of errors this game so far. All four of them on the Beavers' behalf. Which is part of the reason why they're losing right now. Their defense has not been doing so strongly. Bilello steps in and takes a ball outside, so it's going to be 1-0 on him now. Yeah, it was a strange play, that's to be sure. Here comes the pitch, swung on and flown out to Hernandez. And he was able to make that catch, I'd say, well into Buckner's territory. But it's going to be a putout by the 8th spot. And it is still 3-0 Diamond Hoppers. They weren't able to make anything of that error. And coming up in the bottom half of the third, it's going to be Martinez, Clank, and Hernandez. We'll be back right after this.
Now batting for the Beavers, the shortstop, number 1, DJ Martinez.
Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the third inning where the Beavers are up. Leading off for the Beavers this half inning is DJ Martinez, no affiliation to the Tigers' JD Martinez. This is his first batting appearance of the ball game.
He has done a lot of work in the top of the inning, getting grounded out 3 times at least in this game so far.
Yeah, Conor has done a great job so far of getting groundouts. He's had groundouts and flyouts as well, with only 2 hits against him. Here's the first pitch, and that ball's flown over. We got 3 players converging on the right field line, and that play is made by the second baseman Stewart.
He got a long way to get that one.
Yeah, he had to really run for it. Well, it was in that weird territory, Dan, where it could have been anyone's ball. It could have been Maroney's, Stewart, and Gomez. They all kind of had an equal length. Obviously, Stewart had a little more to run from the second base, but he called off the other guys and made the play.
And of course, Maroney had a long way to go too.
Yeah. DeAndre Clark's in. Shows bunt, but pulls it back, so it's now 1-0 on him. Grounded out over to Stewart his first time.
Donna.
Now 1-1 on DeAndre Clark. That ball swung on and chopped just foul the first base side. So it'll be 1-2 now on DeAndre Clark. Here's the 1-2. That ball is outside, so it'll be a 2-2 count on him now with 1 out, no men on. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled directly over to the left field stands. Directly left of home plate, I should say. Just trying to stay alive here, give his team a chance to get on base. 2-2. Swung on and fouled directly back, right behind home plate. He fouls off another one. Remains 2-2. Here's again the 2-2. That ball's outside, so DeAndre Clark, fighting off pitches, has managed to make it a full count now at 3-2.
Just looks to stay alive here.
Here's the 3-2. That ball is missed high, so it's going to be I'd say a 9-pitch walk. Really executing good patience there at the plate. He got behind in the count early, but managed to fight back and wait until he was able to get walked. Fouled balls off when he needed to.
Yeah, if you're the Beavers right now, you just want to get runners on base.
And now like you said, now they do. They have a man on first. There's only one out, so you look to avoid the double play now with Gerard Hernandez stepping in. Gerard Hernandez hit for a single his first time up and advanced to second before the inning finally ended. Root throws over to first, but Clark is able to get back in time. Just keeping an eye on Clark. They don't want him to seal and get the double play out of the circumstances. The first pitch finally coming to Hernandez, and it is outside for a ball. 1-0 on him.
Yeah, DeAndre Clark over there at first, getting a comfortable lead.
Well, now there he goes. For the moment, he was staying home, or staying at first. Here comes the 1-0. And that ball is outside again. It's going to be 2-0. Root being very careful around these batters, not giving them a whole lot to swing at so far. He hasn't registered a strikeout yet. He's probably trying to avoid that fly ball to right field because of this wind, so he's being very careful about where he places his pitches. Here comes the 2-0. Swung over the netting, the left side of home plate. So it'll be 2-1 now.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. No strikeouts so far yet from Root. In the last game he pitched, we seen a lot.
Root takes a quick glance over to first. Kicks the leg. Here comes the 2-1, and another pitch fouled off over to the left side of home plate.
Fans are going to go home happy tonight after
with all these foul balls. Yeah. That one looked like it was hit a little too hard. Probably landed on the service drive. Maybe a bypasser was going to go home lucky today. Another quick look over to first. Make sure that Clark is staying close to that base. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on. This one's grounded foul right side of home plate over by the Hoppers dugout. So it remains 2-2. The Beavers this half inning are doing all they can just to foul these balls off and stay alive, and they've done a good job of it now. That ball is swung on, and it is hit over to Power out in left field. He backed up at first, but ended up having to come in as the wind probably knocked it down over there left field. So it'll be 2 outs now on the Beavers with Clark at first base.
Buckner last time out back in the first hit a single to left field.
Only saw, I believe, 2 or 3 pitches that at bat as well. So he's probably looking to reproduce his fast success that he had the first time up. Here comes the first pitch to him. And that ball is outside, continuing the trend of being very cautious with the placement. Lots of them outside or down low or up high. Doesn't want to leave too many over the plate today. So it'll be 1-0 on Buckner. Throws over to first, but Clark is able to get back in time, so no worries there. Root doing something we don't see a whole lot of out of these pitchers in the USPBL, where they're being very careful about where these runners are. So many steals last season. Here's the 1-0. Clark tries to steal, but he is called out at second base. Just didn't get a good enough jump, and the catcher, Figueroa, threw a bullet down there to second baseman Cam Stewart. And now it is 3 outs, and the Hoppers are still winning 3-0 going into the top of the fourth, where Castro, Figueroa, and O'Brien are due up. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. Welcome back to this game between the Hoppers and the Beavers as the top of the fourth inning. Dan Dobler and Brian Fisher with you here. Leading off for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Ricky Castro. First time up, he hit into a double and eventually came around to score. Sees his first pitch, and it is called a strike, 0-1.
Ricky Castro has been very active in this ball game.
Well, this first time up, he ended up hitting into that double, which ended up benefiting his team because he came around to score as Brandon O'Brien brought him home on a single. Meanwhile, it is 1-1. Now comes the 1-1. Hit just over the head of the second baseman Rollis out into right field, and that'll be a base hit for him. So he continues his trend of hitting well.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Kyle.
It only takes him 3 pitches to reach base. And Rollis almost got that one, almost grabbed it right out of the air. He jumped up and just a few, I'd say, an inch or two out of his reach. You don't see many players, unless you're like one of the elites, be able to make that kind of play. But he
cheater.
He gave it all he could. So now Figueroa steps in. He sees his first pitch. It's down low for a ball. It's 1-0. Ricky Castro now at first. He leads off. Wynn gives a quick look over. Doesn't seem too concerned. Swung on and missed on a pitch out over. But Castro's able to get back into it. So Figueroa swung on that, trying probably just to interfere with San Martin on his throw. But it ended up being no good as Castro was able to get back safely to first base.
Yeah, Castro has the speed, so you can bet Wynn will keep a great eye on him.
That ball swung on, grounded over to Martinez at second, thrown to second, and thrown to first, and that's going to be just one out, as Martinez was able to get Castro at second. So now you have one out with a man still at first, but now that man on first replaced by Castro with Figueroa, as he hit into that potential double play that ended up just being one out.
Have we yet seen a double play yet?
I don't think we have. I think over the past week and a half we've been doing this, we have yet to see a double play. That one was close. They have all the makings of one, but the throws just weren't quite fast enough. The first pitch to O'Brien, he shows bunt, but he pulls it back because the ball is outside, so it'll be 1-0 on him.
O'Brien already has 1 RBI in this ball game.
Here comes the 1-0. That ball is hit past the third baseman, Kennan, into left field, and then Clark bobbles it, so Figueroa is able to make it all the way over to the third, so that'll be a base hit and an error on that play. So now you have runners on first and third with only one out.
A lot of errors so far for the Beavers, and that's what you do not want to see.
So now the leadoff man, Joe Maroney, comes up to the plate. He struck out and hit for a double so far this ball game, so they're probably discussing how to attack him after he hit that RBI double his second time up. With a man on third, it wouldn't take much to bring him home, especially with only one out. A sac fly would do it. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the left side of home plate. Just kind of grounded, bobbled over there. So it'll be 0-1 now on Joe Maroney. That's now 5 errors committed by the Beavers today. Not so hot today, have they?
No.
Second pitch is swung on and fouled behind home plate, so it's now 0-2. Joe Maroney looks like he is swinging like he definitely wants to bring Figueroa home. And I can't blame him. Obviously you want to, but you got to make sure you stay calm and keep a calm mind at the plate. If you swing at everything, they're going to get you real fast. Here comes the 0-2. He takes on that one, and it'll be 1-2.
Yeah, going back to the errors, a lot of committed by the Beavers, and they haven't done anything yet on offense either.
No, not yet. If you're going to commit errors, you at least got to back it up, as that ball is fouled right over top of us into the... That ball didn't even make it over the netting. It looked like it was going to come over top of us, but it ended up staying in the field of play behind home plate, but was not able to be corralled by anyone on the Beavers. Oh, it was caught. My bad. As San Martin makes the catch.
What a weird play there.
Well, with this overhang right above us, I saw the ball go up, and I thought it was coming into the stands. So when it came down, I was trying to track where it was landing, and Figueroa is just below where I can see. So I assumed that he didn't make the catch, which is bad on me. First pitch over to Chris Power as O'Brien tries to steal, double steal, which is the Hoppers, seems to be their thing, as Figueroa comes home to score. So now it is 4-0 Hoppers.
Yeah, we talked about last game, Eastside led the league in steals last season as well.
Well, whatever they're doing is working for them, because their use of speed in this baseball game has gotten them quite a few runs so far this season. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, or the first pitch I should say, the 0-1 pitch comes in, and it is now 1-1 on Chris Power. Chris Power, who reached on error and grounded out his first 2 times up. 2-1 now on Chris Power. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and flown out to the foul line about 3/4 of the way out there and caught by Buckner. So that'll be it for the inning. The Hoppers score one more and now lead at 4-0 after 4.5 innings. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 4th inning, where the Beavers lead off with Nick Buckner. His at-bat cut short last inning when DeAndre Clark was caught stealing. So he'll get his chance to finish this at-bat now. As Root kicks some dirt away, gets comfortable there on the mound. Here's the kick and throw. Taken for a strike, now 0-1 on Nick Buckner.
That'll be Root's 40th pitch in this ballgame.
Another pitch comes in, also taken for a strike, 0-2. Wondering what Buckner is waiting on here. The 0-2 comes in, and that ball is high, so it'll be 1-0 now, or I'm sorry, 1-2 on Nick Buckner. Despite not having any strikeouts, this ball is flown out to left center, and O'Brien comes in just shy of the warning track to make that play. So it'll be 1 out. And now Buckner is 1-2 on the day. Gonzalez up to the plate now. He had, in his one at-bat so far, he popped out to the first baseman Gomez.
Yeah, long stretch foul ball territory here at Jimmy John's Field.
That ball is fouled straight back to behind home plate, and Dan, it looked like you kind of jumped there a little bit.
I did.
I do that all the time, don't worry. That netting, despite that netting being there, it's still like that instinct. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on a missed. It is now 0-2 on Shane Gonzalez. And Root really doing work so far with the Hoppers as they are cruising here despite him having no strikeouts. That ball is way outside, and that'll be 1-2 on Shane Gonzalez.
Yeah, but Root has a comfortable lead here, unlike Wynn.
Well, he I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
He knows what he's doing out here. He knows what he's trying to get, and he's been getting lots of pop-ups and ground-outs. Nothing really has threatened to go out of this park as that ball is fouled out into what looks like the service drive, right side of home plate. This remains 1-2 now on Shane Gonzalez. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That ball is outside, so now the count is even at 2-2. 81 mile an hour off-speed pitch. Here's the 2-2. That ball is swung on hard, but foul. If that ball was fair, that would have been gone by a mile.
Yes, it would. The wind would have definitely took that one out. Over there by the Chevrolet Pavilion, that foul ball was.
So, despite getting really good contact, you could hear the crack of the bat on that one. It's still 2-2. Here's the pitch, and swung on and missed. And after a battle with Shane Gonzalez, Connor Root's able to dust him off for his first strikeout of the game, and a swinging strikeout at that.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, last time Root pitched, got 8 strikeouts. So far, only 1. Now, kind of rough start. Not rough starting, but
Well, he's
seen a lot
getting
from him.
the job done. You don't necessarily need strikeouts to be a good pitcher.
No.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
And now John Crank is in the box, and he takes for a ball. So it's now 1-0 with 2 outs on John Crank.
He flew out to Chris Power last time out, back in the first.
Yes, he did. As another ball comes in for a strike, it'll be 1-1 now. Connor Root resets his hat and his shirt and just trying to remain comfortable out there. Takes a deep breath, and the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Beautiful pitch. 88 miles an hour. John Crank could not keep up with that one, and it's 1-2 on him now. Some debris blowing in the air as John Crank swings and misses again. Or it looks like he might have gotten a piece of that one.
Yeah, it looks like he did. So it's still 1-2 with him. He still remains at the plate.
It looked like to me from where I'm at, because I see mostly the umpire's back, that he swung and missed. But the fact that he's still in the box tells you. As he swings and gets a piece of another one and fouls it off the catcher Figueroa's mask, and remains 1-2.
Figueroa with that hockey-style catcher's mask.
That's all the rage nowadays, as it helps prevent concussion. We saw how concussions really affect catchers with Alex Avila in his time with the Tigers, and now he's finally converted to that hockey mask. As that ball is swung on and flown over to left field side, where Castro calls off Chenoweth to get the third out, just onto the outfield grass in left field side. It is still 4-0 Hoppers as we go to the top of the 5th inning. And coming up to bat for the Hoppers is Cam Stewart, Casey Chenoweth, and Esteban Gomez, and we will be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back to the top of the 5th inning, where the Diamond Hoppers lead the Beavers 4-0. The Hoppers up to bat, and Cam Stewart leads off for them. Here's the first pitch to him, and it is a ball outside. Looked like it might have gotten the edge of the box, but wasn't called.
We have a right-hander warming up right now in the Beavers bullpen.
Another pitch comes in. It's 1-1. Yeah, it's a shame, too, because Randy Winnett has been pitching really well. His defense has let him down, though, because they have 5 errors on the game. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on a miss, now 1-2. He's been very effective on the mound there. A lot of these runs that have coming against him have been unearned runs. I think, if not, at least 3, all of them have been. Here comes the 1-2. That ball is inside, so it's going to be 2-2 now, even count.
Yeah, just only giving up 5 hits in this ball game.
That ball is fouled left of the home plate. It's going to remain 2-2 on him now. Yeah, Randy Wynn's been doing a fantastic job today. It's just his defense has not been getting it done behind him, and it's really shot them in the foot. Here comes a 2-2, swung on and missed, and another strikeout for Randy Wynn. I believe that is his 3rd of the baseball game now.
Yep. The third baseman, number 5, Casey Chenoweth.
Now Chenoweth up to the plate. He is yet to reach base on a hit. He reached base on an error in the first inning. So he is technically 0 for 2 despite having reached. The first pitch to Chenoweth is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on a miss, so it's now 1-1. And, you know, one thing I noticed about today's game is where Sunday's game we had tons of amazing defensive plays. Today we have had lots of errors.
Yes, we have.
Defensive lapses.
Yeah, and I believe it was on Saturday we seen a lot of errors last week as well.
As this ball is flown out to shallow center field, where Hernandez makes the catch. So now 2 down in the top of the 5th inning.
Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Esteban Gomez.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Esteban Gomez steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error as well as one of many errors committed by the Beavers today. Struck out his other time up. Here comes the first pitch. He takes that for a ball low. 1-0.
Yeah, he's the second batter in this Eastside Diamond Hoppers lineup that leads in RBIs. He has 4 so far.
Meanwhile, a pitch is taken for a strike, so it's 1-2 or 1-1 now. Correction. The 1-1 pitch, grounded over to the first baseman. Nice diving, sliding play, but the ball is thrown off the mark to the pitcher who covered for first, and he reaches safely on what will be ruled an infield single.
Yeah, Shane Gonzalez, great diving stop by him, but obviously Ben was not able to get over to first base in time.
Gonzalez, yeah, like you said, Gonzalez did a fantastic job sliding and stopping that ball, but when it came to turning and throwing, he was off the mark, and he threw it like halfway down the first base line. But got to give him full marks for the stop at least. Meanwhile, Brian Bilello steps into the plate, and he is 0 for 2 as well, grounding out and flying out. Here's the first pitch to him, and it is called for a strike. So it is 0-1 for him on him. 0-1 on him. The 0-1 is swung on. It sounded like he got a piece of it there, but it's fouled for an 0-2. Foul tipped right into the glove of San Martin.
And the lights come on here at Jimmy John's Field.
Well, that sun's it's still plenty light out, but the sun is just beginning to reach below the horizon, so got to get those lights on sooner better than later, correct?
Yep.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded over. Great stop by Rollis, and that is called for an out. Nice play by Rollis to end the inning. He ran quite an effort over to stop that ball and threw it over to Gonzalez off the mark, but Gonzalez was able to keep his foot on the bag to get the third out.
And that's what you always practice when you're the first baseman, keeping that foot on the bag, in which he did.
And so because of that, they got out of this inning with no damage done, and it is still a 4-0 lead for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Going into the bottom half of the 5th inning, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. Dan Dobler and Brian Fisher here with you as we lead off the bottom half of the 5th inning. Dan Kennan steps into the plate on the left-hand side.
He grounded out to Chenoweth back in the 2nd inning.
Yes, he did. Ground ball. Been the story of the night. Lots of ground balls today. Very few strikeouts for Root, but he's been doing his job, and doing his job quite well. As Dan Kennan looks at his first pitch of the at-bat. That ball is low and outside, so it's going to be a 1-0 count. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on and singled right up the middle, just to the left of center field. And on just 2 pitches, Dan Kennan reaches and gives his team a man on base with no outs. And it's that kind of early offense that the Beavers need if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, they just need to get runners on and get those runners in.
And with no outs here early in the bottom of the 5th inning, they have a chance to get back in this game. As Bobby San Martin steps into the plate again on the left-hand side, so he's a righty batter. Sees his first pitch and takes for a strike on the outside corner, so it's now 0-1.
Bobby San Martin flew out the left center field back in the 2nd.
Here comes the 0-1. That ball's outside. Looked like it might have been Figueroa. Thought about throwing over to the first base to where Kennan is, but he held back as he saw Kennan getting back into first. San Martin looks at his 1-1 pitch, and that ball is low again for a 2-1 count now. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. That ball is high, so that'll be a 3-1 count now on him. He's got a little bit of room. San Martin now at the plate has a little bit of room to work with. He can decide if he wants to wait on this pitch and if it's a ball to advance the runner in scoring position, or if he wants to swing and try to drive him to third or better.
You're right, Brian.
Here comes a 3-1 pitch. That ball is high, and so it'll be a walk. So he decided to take that pitch, and it paid off for him as San Martin takes first base on a walk, and Kennan advances to second on the play.
Defense comes together for the Diamond Hoppers. We haven't really seen that many base runners on for the Beavers in this ball game, so defensive strategy they're thinking about here.
They have only had 5 base runners all game, 3 hits, and now this will be their second walk, as there is a meeting at the mound between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. The manager came out. Looks like they just had a quick chat as Root stays on the mound. Thomas Rulis is up to bat now.
Nothing going on in the Eastside Diamond Hoppers bullpen.
Probably just a discussion on how to attack this, because there's 2 outs, a man on first and second. So they're trying to just come up with a strategy, I'm sure, on how to get out of this inning. All right. Tom Rulis takes a couple. Here comes the first pitch to Rulis. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's called for a ball, 1-0. Figueroa constantly threatening to throw over to first base, try and pick off that man at first. In this case, it would be San Martin, but has yet to actually throw down there. Tom Rulis waits on the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes, and he shows bunt, bunts it down the third base line. Perfectly executed play, and we have bases loaded now on an infield bunt with no outs. Dan Rulis executed what has to be a textbook bunt down the third base line there.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and it paid off because now the Beavers got bases loaded, and this is I think the first time we ever seen Diamond Hoppers be in this type of situation.
Well,
dangerous.
The Diamond Hoppers have a 4-0 lead, but if, we're watching the same game we do, or everyone else is, we know that 4-0 lead and halfway through the game doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. So they're still trying to get some more runs in, as DJ Martinez takes for a strike, 0-1.
Martinez flew out back in the third to the second baseman.
Yeah, he popped out. It was a swing that he looked like he didn't really want to make. It was kind of a check swing, and it was just unfortunate for him, on his part. I'm sure Dylan Root was happy as that ball's fouled off over and outside the stadium onto the service drive. So now it's 0-2 on DJ Martinez. With bases loaded now, I wonder what is going through the mind and what the Beavers' plan of attack is to try and drive home some runs. As he waits on the 0-2 pitch. That ball swung on and flared out to right field. Base hit. That'll score at least 1 run. And bases remain loaded with no outs as DJ Martinez gets it done and drives home the Beavers' first run of the ballgame.
And that's the first run on the board for the Beavers this season.
Is it now?
Yes, it is.
See, I was not aware of that. And now it is just a 3-run ball game as the Beavers are still threatening with bases loaded and no outs. DeAndre Clark steps in, and he is 0 for 1 today. He had 2 plate appearances, but one of them ended in a walk for him. So he has the patience, but does he have the bat as well? Clark watches his first pitch. It is outside, but not far enough away. It gets away from Figueroa, but not far enough for anyone to score. So it will just be a 1-0 count on DeAndre Clark. Root sets. Here comes the pitch. Swung on a miss by DeAndre Clark. Looked like he was swinging for the fences there on that one.
Yeah, he did.
He thought he was getting what he wanted and was trying to hit the first grand slam of the season. but no cigar on that one as it goes to 1-1.
Definitely got him swinging out of his shoes there.
Yes, he did. He was a mighty rip, that's for sure. Here was a 1-1 pitch. That ball is inside, but it is called for a strike, so it's now 1-2. Still nobody warming up in the Diamond Hoppers bullpen, so they have confidence in Root to get out of this jam.
Yeah, Root right now is at 71.
That ball is hit into the gap between the right fielder and the center fielder, and at least 2, maybe 3 runs will score, and this might tie the ball game, as that is a stand-up triple that clears the bases for Denandre Clark, and he is getting a loud ovation and applause from the fans here, and deservedly so.
Yes, what a great hit there by Denandre Clark.
He split the gap beautifully between Maroney and O'Brien out there, and he tied the ball game, and now both teams have 6 hits apiece, and now you have someone up in the Hoppers bullpen warming up, and after what was a dominant start by Connor Root, he's run into some turbulence this inning as he lets up 4 earned runs.
This is the type of hitting we need to see out of the Beavers.
And Gerard Hernandez is in now, and he waits on the first pitch, and he swings on it and fouls it back into the stands behind home plate, and it is 0-1 now on Gerard Hernandez. The Beavers have an opportunity to take the lead here, Dan.
Yep.
With no outs still, with a runner on third, that is Denandre Clark. Their first lead of the game. So that ball is swung on, but it looks like it'll be foul. Power couldn't get over there in time to get it in foul territory, so it'll go to 0-2 on the count.
Hits are even at 6.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That ball is foul tipped into the netting behind home plate. So it'll remain 0-2 on Gerard Hernandez.
Looks like a left-hander warming up in the Diamond Hoppers bullpen.
Where are those fancy binoculars you had earlier?
I forgot them there.
You're supposed to be our scout out there, man. That ball is swung on and grounded foul, first base side. Yet again remains 0-2.
Yeah, I'll bring them tomorrow.
You can bring them tomorrow so that we can use our little binoculars and see who's out there. I like the sounds of that. Hernandez is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first inning and then flew out to power in the third. That ball is grounded to the shortstop Castro, thrown over to the first baseman Gomez, and that will be the first out of the game, or not of the game, of the inning, as Denandre Clark stays steady at third base.
Great job by Ricky Castro over there at short, keeping an eye on the runner at third, and then flipping over to first for the first out of the inning.
So now comes up Nick Buckner, as he's 1 for 2 today. Flew out to O'Brien his second time up, his last time up. And after his first pitch he saw, he swung on and missed, so it is now 0-1 with 1 out. The Beavers have had an awesome inning as they have scored 4 runs to tie the ball game on what was a bases clearing triple. That ball is flared into shallow left field, and that will score another run as the Beavers take their first lead of the ball game on a Nicholas Buckner single to drive home Denandre Clark.
And their first lead of the season.
Their first lead is the season as well. That's right, you said that was their first run scored earlier, so that would stand to say that it was their first lead. Shane Gonzalez steps into the plate now, with the Beavers having the lead and a man on first with 1 out. He takes the first pitch. It's high for a 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch is high again for 2-0. And Connor Root, Dan, was doing a fantastic job, not only with getting guys out, but keeping his pitch count fairly low as well. But after this inning, I got to imagine it's got to be it for him, because he's really thrown a lot of pitches. And now with 5 earned runs under his belt, I can't imagine him going much longer, especially with these guys warming up.
Yeah, right now he's at 81, and he has given up 7 hits here, and then, of course,
And
the 5 runs. But I feel he can go at least finish this inning off, and then
I'm sure the manager's hoping he can finish the inning off. That's what you want, because you don't want him to bring your reliever in early before he's ready and warmed up all the way. Here's the 2-0, and he swings on that one, and he pops it up, foul territory, and it lands between Gomez, Stewart, and Maroney out there in foul territories. None of them are able to crowd in, so it'll go to 2-1 now on Shane Gonzalez. And Gomez looked like he was having trouble tracking that one.
Yeah.
He ran straight, and then he took a hard left. So it looked like he was having trouble tracking it. Maybe possibly the lights right above him were getting in his eyes.
The wind's still playing a factor.
That is true, yeah. I'm sure that had an effect on it as well. Root takes a look over to first to make sure that Buckner's not doing anything funny. That pitch is swung on and fouled to the right side of home plate, out of the stadium. We have the windshield breaking sound effects play on the overhead speakers.
Luckily, my car is not parked that way.
Yes, we are parked straight away center field, at least 700 feet, I'd say. I don't think we have to worry about any balls cracking our windshields. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and he swings on, misses, and Figueroa threw down a first, but was not able to get Buckner. So there's only 2 outs now. But that will be another strikeout for Connor Root, as John Crank steps into the batter's box. He is 0 for 2 yet today. And here comes the manager to the mound. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here at the bottom half of the 5th inning. And when we come back, we'll let you know who that is. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We've made a pitching change for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as the Birmingham Beavers explode for 5 runs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning to take the lead. Connor Root finishes the game with 4 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, and now Michael Gomez takes the mound to try and get them out of this inning. We have a runner at first, which is Nicholas Buckner, and there are 2 outs.
Michael Gomez, a left-handed pitcher out of Miami, Florida, did his college ball at Florida International University.
He is the other Gomez on the team, as his fellow Gomez plays first base. And Esteban Gomez has 1 for 3 today. Reached on an error, struck out, and has a base hit. John Crank steps into the batter's box as Michael Gomez faces his first batter of the evening. Here comes the pitch. Way outside. 1-0 on John Crank. Here comes the 1-0. That ball is taken inside and low, so it'll be 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That ball is taken, but called for a strike, so it'll be now 2-1. And what started off as a fantastic outing for Connor Root ended not nearly as what he had planned, as he ended up giving 5 earned runs away after 4 innings of flawless work.
Yeah, it's all been done in 1 inning.
Lots of damage was done very quickly. I think that DeAndre Clark triple really did him in. Because he cleared the bases, because he had bases loaded with no outs, and it is now 3-1 on John Crank. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded over to the third baseman. He bobbles it, throws over to first, and pulls Gomez off the base, so he will be safe. Runner in scoring position now as Buckner advances the second. And that'll be the first error of the ballgame for the Hoppers. And what has become a game of whoever defense does worse wins. As Chenoweth really just bobbled that one after taking it on the first hop. That ball comes inside on Dan Kennan and is called for a ball.
We are starting to see a few errors by the Diamond Hoppers instead of the Beavers this time.
Dan Kennan, who led off the inning, is now back up at the plate. Reached on a base hit his first time this inning. Now 2-0 on Dan Kennan. Gomez finally decides on a pitch. Here's the kick and the pitch, and taken for a ball, 2-0. From up here, it looked like that might have been a strike, but with our limited, from our angle, you can never really tell.
No, you really can't.
Now 3-0 on Dan Kennan as he looks to reach base. And he takes a walk now as Michael Gomez is off to a rough start, as Crank reached base on an error, and now Kennan reached base on a walk. And bases are loaded yet again for this fifth inning. The second time bases have been loaded.
Beavers are doing damage here. This is their favorite inning.
So now the bases loaded and 2 outs. San Martin looks to add to the Beavers' lead and really make some payback here. San Martin, who walked his first time up, takes a pitch inside, kind of turns out of the way of that one, but not too much. It'll be a 1-0 count now on Bobby San Martin. San Martin gets ready in the batter's box as Gomez decides on a pitch. Here comes the 1-0. Takes it for a strike. Now 1-1 on Bobby San Martin. And Michael Gomez seems to be having some trouble hitting the strike zone. So if I were San Martin, I'd be practicing a lot of patience here at the plate. As that pitch is a ball. Figueroa actually threw over to first this time, but Dan Kennan was able to get back in time.
Yeah, Gomez is really struggling with his pitches so far in this inning.
Throwing lots of balls here to start, which I mentioned earlier that a lot of these pitchers are staying away from the strike zone to avoid fly balls because of the wind. But you got to hit the strike zone too, as another one comes in for a ball. So now it's 3-1, and Gomez threatens to walk in a run, which will be the 6th earned run if it happens to Connor Root, because the man on third is inherited from him. That ball's called for a strike. Now we got a full count, so the next pitch could decide whether or not the inning ends. A run could score, or we go to the top of the 6th. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And Michael Gomez gets out of the bases loaded jam to end the inning. Although the Beavers do put up 5 runs to take the lead over the Diamond Hoppers. And after 5 innings played, it is 5-4 Bloomfield Beavers. Next up for the Diamond Hoppers, you have the bottom of the lineup, Ricky Castro, Kyle Figueroa, and Brandon O'Brien. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Top of the 6th inning, as there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Beavers. And Alex Kinch, number 20. So Randy Wynn goes 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, gives up 4 runs, but I only believe either 0 or 1 of them was earned. So even though he gave up 4 runs, he actually pitched pretty well because it was his defense that really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, he really did. And, Alex Kinch looks to come in the ball game and get the job done as well.
Had 3 strikeouts, all 3 of them swinging.
Alex Kinch out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
He's a hometown boy. Not a whole lot of Michigan players actually in the USPBL. I think I counted only 5 last time I checked. As Castro sees his first pitch, shows bunt but pulls it back, so it'll be called for a ball.
Did his college ball at Wayne State University.
That's good. Wayne State University is right down the road. And by down the road, I mean 20 minutes down I-75.
Yep.
And it'll be 2-0 now on Castro as he looks at another one. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. takes on that one, but takes a strike this time as it goes to 2-1 on him.
Castro hit for a single back in the fourth to the right fielder.
And doubled his first time up and then eventually came around to score. So he's 2 for 2 today as he swings and fouls that ball off left of home plate into the stands. So now it's even count, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That ball is swung on and fouled just behind home plate. Didn't get a whole lot on it, just kind of tipped on it. So it remains 2-2. If I would be very careful if I were the Diamond Hoppers here because Castro has been so successful today at reaching the plate. That ball is pitched inside, so it will go to 3-2, full count on Ricky Castro. And this is the first time he's seen more than one ball yet this game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Half-hearted swing, looked like he checked it. That ball is hit foul over to left field, or left side of home plate, I should say. So that count remains 3-2. Castro not being very kind to Alex Kinch, giving him an 8-pitch at-bat to start off with. Here comes again the 3-2. That ball is inside, taken for a ball. So Alex Kinch walks his first batter in Ricky Castro. Not the start he probably wants to get off to, I'd imagine.
No.
Now Kyle Figueroa comes up to the plate. He is 0 for 2, but reached his first time on a fielder's choice, and then eventually stole second. Here comes the first pitch. He shows bunt. And they picked off Ricky Castro at first base as San Martin quickly got up and threw that ball over to first base. So now there is one out.
Yeah, Castro got too big of a lead there.
So that takes the bunting situation out of it for Figueroa as he was looking to show bunt to move Castro over. As Castro takes a pitch, and it's called strike on the outside corner. It's now 1-1 on him. Or I'm sorry, not Castro, Figueroa, I should say. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul, left side of home plate, so it'll be 1-2 on him now.
Yeah, bad mistake there by Ricky Castro getting thrown out at first.
Well, I think the idea there was either a hit and run or a bunt to move him over, and then Castro missed the bunt.
Yeah, you could be right there.
So that ball was fouled off into the netting behind home plate, so it'll be 1-2 now. Or remain 1-2, I should say. Here comes the 1-2 pitch again. That ball is chopped foul. That ball didn't get very far away from home plate. Just a couple of bounces. So it'll remain, yet again, a 1-2 count. And Kinch is quickly finding out that he is getting into a lot of high pitch at-bats, as now this one goes into its 5th pitch. The last one got into the, believe 8 or 9 pitches. Here comes the 1-2 again. That ball is... Ooh! Looked like it was going to be lined out right over to Rollis, but got between his legs as Figueroa reaches first base safely.
Yeah, that was a hard hit by Figueroa.
It looked like it was going to be a line out right to him, just a zinger, and it ended up bouncing between his legs for what looks like it's being called an error, an E4, which will be the 6th error by the Hoppers today, and it has been proven that those are the killers for the Hoppers.
Yes, it has.
As at least 3 of the runs that the Hoppers have scored, the Beavers have all the errors, correction. At least 3 of the runs the Hoppers have scored have come off of those errors.
Yeah, the Hoppers only committing that one error.
And the first pitch to O'Brien is a ball, so it's now 1-0. It looked like Rollis was going to have a handle on that one, but it just looked like either he missed it or it just bounced between his legs. As another ball comes in, and this one is called for a strike, 1-1.
As a fielder, you're always taught to keep that glove on the ground.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. O'Brien swings and looks like he got a piece of that one. Fouled off, 1-2.
Or at least in a comfortable spot so you're able to get the play.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing new today. We've had a total of 7 errors, 6 of them committed by the Beavers. I think the pitchers have quickly realized that if they want to have a good chance of winning this game, they've got to get these guys out themselves. As that ball's grounded over to Rollis and thrown over to Gonzalez for the out. Rollis bobbled it for a second. Looked like he thought about going to second with the play, but ended up going to first instead, electing to get 1 out instead of trying for the double play. So that'll be a 4-3 ground out with 2 outs and a man on second now as Figueroa advances to second on the play. Now we go to the top of the lineup. The first guy in the batting order, Joe Maroney.
Hey, he flew out back to the backstop here back in the 4th.
Yes, he did. And that was the play where I thought the catcher dropped it, actually. One of my couple errors I've had today speaking.
It's all right, Brian.
We all make mistakes. I'll own up to it. There has been Joe Maroney has struck out, doubled for an RBI, and like you said, popped out to the catcher behind home plate. So he's 1 for 3 as he watches and takes on a strike. But that double was big for them.
Yes, it
as
was.
it drove home a couple of runs, or a run, that helped early on in the game give them the lead. Now, of course, after last inning, the lead is flopped over to the Beavers' side. As Maroney waits on the 0-1, here it is. He swings on that one and flies it out to mid-left center, and Hernandez makes the catch, and Alex Kinch gets out of that inning without a single hit, or a single run, I should say. So the Beavers keep the lead 5-0, and we go into the bottom of the 6th inning with due up, Rollis, G.J. Martinez, and Donandre Clark, who hit that bases-clearing triple. So we'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. It's now the bottom of the 6th inning with the Beavers up. The Beavers leading the game 6-5 after an explosive 6-run inning, or 5-4, I should say, explosive 5-run inning in the 5th, which accumulated when Donandre Clark hit the bases-clearing triple to give them the lead, or tie the game.
Michael Gomez remains here for the Diamond Hoppers. Last inning, gave up a walk,
he
a
looked
hit,
a little
and
bit
strikeout.
shaky, but he got the out.
Yeah, he gave up a walk, a hit, and had a strikeout.
Rollis in now. He looks at a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and line foul down the left field line. That ball got off his bat in a hurry, zipped down there, but landed in the foul territory on left third base line.
The Diamond Hoppers do have a right-handed pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
Well, if we had your binoculars, we'd be able to know who that was, Dan. You let
I'm
us down
sorry.
here, man.
I'm sorry. I'll bring him tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it as it's the 1-1 pitch comes on Rollis, and he swings. This one is fair, and that ball is off the wall, and Rollis is going to come into second standing up as Power throws the ball into the cutoff man. So that'll be a stand-up double for Thomas Rollis, his second hit of the game. The first one came as a bunt.
Yeah, great hit by Rollis there. And the Beavers getting their hits done early here in the sixth inning.
Well, after the first pitch, he ripped that one down the third base line, foul. And this one he ripped. This time it stayed fair and bounced off the wall. Power got it on the first hop, threw it to cutoff man, but it was too late. As this one is bunted by Martinez and thrown off the base path, but Rollis decides to stay at third, and it'll be classified as an infield hit for the Diamond Hoppers. The Beavers, I should say.
Great job by Cam Stewart backing up that overthrown pitch.
He did a fantastic job. It was a bunt. It wasn't the best of bunts, as it went about halfway to the pitcher's mound, but he was able to get Gomez to throw off the base path, get the other Gomez, Esteban, off the base, and reached first, and at the same time advancing Rollis to third base. As DeAndre Clark, the man who hit the bases clearing triple, sits in, takes on a pitch. It's a ball, so it'll be 1-0.
DeAndre Clark with that bases clearing triple back in the fifth.
It's definitely at this moment the play of the game.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone can one-up that, as Gomez throws over to Gomez at first to make sure that DJ Martinez doesn't try anything funny. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, as DJ Martinez broke for second, but it was fouled off, so he has to retreat back to first base now. It'll be 1-1 now on DeAndre Clark. As Happy and You Know What, Clap Your Hands plays in the background. The fans clap. DeAndre Clark waiting patiently for that 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. He bunts on it and runs. And that ball is thrown pretty poorly by Michael Gomez, and that'll score another run, and everyone will be safe. So DeAndre Clark reaches on an infield hit. Another bunt. 2 bunts in a row now for the Diamond Hoppers. The Beavers. They keep doing that today.
All right, Brian, we all make mistakes.
Looks like the Beavers are taking a page out of the Diamond Hoppers textbook with the small ball tactics. And it has paid off, as now they have extended their lead to 6-4. Here comes the first pitch. Showing bunt again, but pulls it back. Oh, and a pitch, or a throw from Figueroa to Stewart, as DJ Martinez had broken from second, but he dropped the ball, Stewart did. So Martinez gets back safely.
Yeah, that play definitely would have been close if he would have held on to the ball.
I think he would have been out. If he held on that ball, he would have been out, in my opinion.
I'm going to have to go with that one.
So Hernandez showing bunt. That pitch is way high. Looks like it might have been a pitch out, so it'll be 2-0 now on Hernandez. And they've bunted twice now and reached safely on both occasions. And with Hernandez showing bunt again, I don't know if this is the psych out the pitcher or if he's being serious. Definitely an interesting tactic to bunt 3 times in a row, though.
Something you don't really see.
This time, Hernandez swings and misses at the ball, so it'll be 2-1.
Kind of half swing there.
Well, it looked like he, at first, was pretty confident he was going to swing at it, and then as it got to the plate, he realized that it wasn't what he wanted and kind of let up. He might be swinging to make contact, too. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed again, so it's now an even count, 2-2. It is now a 6-4 ball game in favor of the Beavers. Two men on, 1 man in scoring position with Martinez at second, and no outs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and after getting ahead of the count, 2-0, Hernandez swings and misses on 3 straight pitches to give Gomez the second swinging strikeout. So now you have 1 out with men on first and second. There's a meeting between Figueroa and Gomez up at the mound. They split, probably just discussing tactics on how to approach Buckner, as Buckner is a left-handed hitter.
And Figueroa probably saying to him, "You got this."
Well, now with 1 out, it's also a double play situation as well. And that ball's called for a strike, be 0-1 now.
Great movement on that pitch.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball almost got away from Figueroa there, but he managed to corral it. So it's now 0-2
Figueroa
on Nick Buckner.
Figueroa doing a great job tonight, staying in front of that ball.
Nick Buckner has done a good job too, as he is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles and an RBI. Drove home the leading run, I believe.
Drove home Clark.
Yes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Takes that one, but it's a ball, so it'll be 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 outside, so now the count is even at 2-2. This time around, Gomez got out to an early lead in the count, making it 0-2, unlike last time where it was 2-0 in Hernandez's favor, and it's even yet again. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside, so the count is full now with men on first and second and 1 out. If you walk him here, you have bases loaded, 1 out, and you're starting to get the feeling of a repeat of what was the 5th inning.
Yeah, if you're Gomez, you just want to either get a strikeout here or get a ground out. If not that, he could be maybe out of this ball game.
Well, this is a crucial at-bat right here, because if you get him out, you're 1 out away from getting out of the jam, and you don't have to worry about getting a double play either. And that ball is taken. That is the first strikeout caught looking of the game. And he strikes out Buckner. So now, after letting the first 2 men on, you have 2 outs. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound with the manager coming out. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So Gomez gets the job done. Gives up 1 run. And we'll find out who our pitcher is right after this break.
number 15, from Jackson, Mississippi, Kyle Bryce.
Welcome back after our pitching change. Now, new pitcher for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Carl Bryce, making his first appearance of the season. Right-handed relief pitcher, throws and ball's called outside for a ball. Men on first and second, 2 outs, 1 run scored this inning. That ball is lined right to Castro at second or shortstop, and it only takes 2 pitches for Carl Bryce to get out of the inning, and we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Birmingham Beavers score 1 more run, so it's now a 6-4 lead for them. As due up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Chris Power, Cam Stewart, and Casey Chenoweth. We'll be right back after this break. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 7th inning as the Beavers continue to peck on more runs.
Now batting the left fielder, number 22.
The Hoppers are up to the plate now. Chris Power, the man with the amazing catch back on Sunday, sees his first pitch from Kinch, and it is a ball low outside, so it's going to be 1-0.
Kinch only giving up 1 hit and a walk in his first outing back in the 6th.
And that's going to be 2-0 on Chris Power. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That ball is singled right up the middle. Lands in front of Hernandez, and that's going to be a base hit for Chris Power, his first of the ball game, and now he is 1-4. So now with 1 man on and no outs, we have Cam Stewart up to the plate, who is 0 for 3 today's ball game, grounded out twice to Martinez and struck out his last time up. Here comes the first pitch to him and takes it outside, so it's going to be 1-0 on him.
Diamond Hoppers have been quite quiet.
Last time they scored a run was in the 4th inning. And he takes again for 2-0. He checked his swing in time. Many of the Diamond Hoppers' runs have come accredited to the fact that the Beavers have had so many errors. So while they have been quiet, you can't. It's been thanks to the Beavers' lapses in defense that they scored as many runs as they did in the first place. As Cam Stewart takes, but is called strike. I don't think he agreed with that. He kind of sat there and waited. So it's now 2-1 on Cam Stewart. So here's a 2-1 pitch. swung on and grounded up the centers. There's going to be what is the first double play of the season, as Rolis threw it to Martinez, threw it to Gonzalez, and got both Chris Power and Cam Stewart out. And that was a good play.
Yeah, right, Brian. It only took 5 games.
Only took 5 games. Now up to bat is Casey Chenoweth, who is 0 for 3 today. He reached on an error in the first inning, but flew out to Hernandez his last time up. 2 outs now after that double play, and that ball is called strike on the inside corner. So it's going to be 0-1 on Casey Chenoweth. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This time is going to be just a little bit too inside. It's going to go, or I'm sorry, that was called for a strike, so it's going to be 0-2.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brian, Chenoweth has been quiet this evening, only reaching safely back in the first.
Well, like I said earlier, it's a little bit presumptuous to say after one game that he's going to be amazing. So,
Like a Tyler Collins from the Tigers?
And Chenoweth strikes out on 3 straight pitches. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Alex Kinch as he gets it done. Or, I'm sorry, it wasn't even a 1-2-3 inning. It was a double play and then a strikeout. So it remains 6-4 as Diamond Hoppers fail to get any runs scored. And going into the bottom of the 7th inning, you have Crank, Kennan, and San Martin coming up to bat. And we'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field as John Crank takes as he fouls one off to the left side of home plate. Figueroa went to try and catch that one, but it ended up in the stands, so it'll be 0-1 on John Crank. As he started a little bit faster than the rest of us expected him to.
Yeah.
Still had 10 seconds left on the clock when he started his first at-bat. Or his at-bat here.
Didn't even get to hear the South Detroit out of Journey music playing in the background.
0-1 pitch outside, be 1-1. Yeah, man, the Journey music is like a tradition here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Especially like Southeast Detroit or Southwest Michigan. And he cut it off because he wanted to get his bat in. I guess the man wants to go home. I can't really blame him for that. As he fouls another one into the netting behind home plate, so now it's going to be 1-2. We had the 7th inning stretch. We had the Take Me Out to the Ball Game song where the whole crowd was getting into that one.
Mm-hmm.
As here's the 1-2, and that one's inside, called for a ball. So it's going to be 2-2 now on John Crank. John Crank 0 for 3 today, reached on an error his last time up. Errors have been the name of the game today with 7 total, 6 of them committed by his team. So the lone error by the Hoppers is the reason why Crank got on base at all today, as he looks at a 2-2 pitch that he fouls left of home plate onto the patio in left field.
Well, you know, Brian, each and every single game there's always going to be mistakes.
Well, of course, but this game you don't necessarily see 7 mistakes
Yeah,
in one ball game.
you're right.
As he looks at another one, and the count goes full 3-2. As Carl Bryce looks to gets his first man out of the inning. Here comes the pitch, 3-2. That ball's way outside, where Figueroa had to stretch out to get that one, so he walks his first man of the inning.
Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Dan Kenneth.
He got it done, Carl Bryce that is, got it done last inning in 2 pitches, lining Gonzalez out to Castro. But now after Crank, he walked him with Kennan in. Here comes the pitch. That ball fouled straight back into the net behind home plate, so that's going to be 1-0 now on Dan Kennan.
Dan Kennan walking up to Wow Thing as his background music.
He is 0 for 2 today, drew a walk and struck out. Struck out his last time up. Or I'm sorry, drew a walk and had a single. I was looking at San Martin's stats just below him. And that ball is pitched behind him, and that John Crank tried to advance on the wild pitch, but that ball came right off the netting, right into Figueroa's hands, and he threw out to second and got John Crank trying to steal.
Great job by Figueroa staying with it and gunning down Crank.
So while it may be a 1-1 count now on Dan Kennan, they had managed to get one out on the caught stealing. That pitch behind Kennan ended up working perfectly for him as Kennan swings and misses on another pitch to go 1-2, with that ball coming right off the backstop into Figueroa's hands. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a missed for a strikeout. So after what looked like it could be a troublesome inning, it is now 2 men down with no one on because Crank was caught stealing. And now with Kennan striking out, we have Bobby San Martin stepping into the box. Comes the first pitch of San Martin of the at-bat, and it's going to be a ball outside, so it's going to go 1-0 on him now with 2 outs, no men on. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled behind home plate. Dan jumped again because it hit the netting. Can't blame you, man. Can't blame you.
You always got to be ready at all times.
There you go. You're fighting. You know your reflexes are like on top of it, man.
Yes.
Clearly mine are not sharpened enough.
You're further to the left. I'm more to the right.
You're right. To me, it looked like it was going to my right. A 1-1 pitch comes in. That's going to be low, so it's going to be 2-1 now on Bobby San Martin. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded foul third base line. Took a 1 hop off his bat. Went foul, so it's going to be even 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no man on. 6-4 Beavers lead. San Martin resets in the box there. Here comes the pitch from Bryce. Swung on a missed. So after letting a man on in a walk, catching him stealing, he managed to strike out the next 2 guys. And so ended up having a very nice inning. And it is still 6-4 Beavers lead. And coming up next for the Diamond Hoppers in the top of the 8th inning is Esteban Gomez, Brian Belolo, and Ricky Castro. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back to the top of the 8th inning. We have a new pitcher now for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, Brian Heldman. After Alex Kinch gets it done for 2 straight innings, he goes 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 earned, obviously, 1 walk and 1 strikeout, coming in very well in relief. So a new pitcher on the mound, that is Brian Heldman, as I just stated, with Esteban Gomez, the first man up in the inning. He is 1 for 3 on the day, reaching on an error, a base hit, and striking out.
And for Hellman, we already seen him in the ballgame this season, pitching. He's out of San Diego, California, San Diego State University. Back to that warm weather.
Yeah, that's one thing we've noted in the past, is that many of these players come from warm weather states, which I guess can't really say as I blame them, as the warm weather states you can play baseball pretty much year-round, as that ball is fouled off into the screen behind home plate and goes 0-2 on Esteban Gomez. I mean, if I were to play baseball in any state, I wouldn't pick Michigan just because of the fact that it's cold 6 months out of the year. I'd definitely go to like a southern or a western state.
California is definitely my favorite state.
The 0-2 pitch, and that ball is grounded over to Gonzalez. He tosses it to Heldman, who was covering, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. So it takes him only 3 pitches to get Gomez out on a ground out, which will be a 3-1 put out. So now Brian Bilello steps into the batter's box. 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts and a flyout. Brian Heldman looks like he's talking with his infielders, trying to get on the same page.
Yeah.
He sets pitches, and that ball's going to be outside for a 1-0 count on Brian Bilello. And interesting thing about Heldman is he pitches with a sidearm.
Yeah, he's got that submarine type.
It's not
throwing.
Not quite a submarine,
You sure?
but he
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. It's a little sidearm throwing.
and that's going to be a strike, so it's going to be 1-1 now.
Got to clean my glasses here.
No, like we said, I made errors earlier. You're allowed to make errors. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That ball is called strike on the inside corner. One-two count on Brian Bilello as Heldman sets and throws, and that ball is flared out to the right field foul into the grassy hill.
Over the Diamond Hopper's bullpen.
Yes, sir. So that'll make it stay at 1-2. As Brian Bilello looks to break his cycle of not reaching base today. Like I mentioned, he grounded out twice, including his last at-bat, and flew out to Hernandez in his second one. He takes and strikes out watching. So he has perfected the trifecta of getting out today, as he's flown out, grounded out, and now striked out. This time striking out looking. So now Brian Heldman comes in relief and is doing a fantastic job getting the first 2 men out, having 1 strikeout, as Ricky Castro steps up to the plate.
Yeah, definitely not a good night for Bilello.
On the other hand, Ricky Castro's having a great night as he has hit safely. He's 2 for 2. Had 3 plate appearances and has walked in one of them. Came around to score in his first plate appearance. And now he is 0-1 in the count as the first pitch was called for a strike. And here comes the second one. Is now 0 for 2 as he watches 2 pitches go by him. Brian Heldman is looking very strong so far in his relief appearance here.
Looking to make quick work here.
And that's what the Beavers want late in the game here. As Castro chopped at a ball, was hit foul, and that'll be a ground out to end the inning. So the Beavers, Brian Heldman comes in relief and does a fantastic job. It is still 6-4, the Beavers lead, with the 1.5 innings left to play. Coming back is the Beavers' chance to hit. It'll be Rollis, DJ Martinez, and Clark. We'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers are leading 6-4. First up is Thomas Rulis. He has reached safely in 2 of his plate appearances, one of them on a bunt, and had an RBI his last time up. Here comes the first pitch to him, and that ball is fouled left of home plate over the netting. So it doesn't.
Yeah. I want to mention, Brian, DeAndre Clark was just named Spark Plug Player of the Game.
Well, that's going to be 1-1. After the play, that triple he hit that cleared the bases, it was pretty much without a doubt at that point, because that plate had 3 RBIs, and he's been doing a fantastic job at the plate besides that as well. He has reached base safely in 3 of his 4 plate appearances, going 2 for 3 today because one was a walk, there was a triple, and he had another RBI as well on the bunt. So now he has actually 4 RBI in the day. So without a doubt, he's the player of the game, and that was the play of the game, was that triple, as it goes to 1-2 on Thomas Rulis a moment ago. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That ball is bloop single over the head of Stewart, and that'll land in front of the right fielder Maroney for a base hit. That wasn't quite a bloop single, actually. He got a pretty good piece of it.
DJ Martinez.
So now standing in is DJ Martinez. He's 2 for 3 today. He has 2 base hits, one of them on a bunt, and has an RBI. And Thomas Rulis went to steal, but the ball was hit foul by Martinez, so he has to return home to first base. So it'll be an 0-1 count now on Martinez.
Back when I played high school ball, I really hated that when I got a good jump, a steal, and then have to go back because of foul ball.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine that probably is disappointing to know that you had a good shot at stealing and then just have to return to first base pretty solemnly, like the walk of shame almost. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That ball, he shows bunt, but fouls it to the netting behind home plate, so it'll go to 0-2.
I flinched once again, Brian.
Did you? I didn't notice this time. You're getting better at it.
Yeah. You always gotta be ready.
Yeah, you're right. You always do. You never know. There might be a hole in that netting or something. Carl Bryce and his catcher Figueroa look to get on the same page. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that ball is called strike, so it'll be a strikeout looking for the first out of the inning. So now we have one out with a man on first. Going to the player of the game, DeAndre Clark. So the man of the evening has a chance to improve again.
Yes, he does.
With already 4 plate appearances on his 5th one now. Catcher setting up outside. Here's the pitch. That ball called strike. Got the outside corner. It's going to be 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That ball's taken for a ball. So it's going to be 1-0 now on DeAndre Clark.
But I like to say, Mr. Appleby, the CEO here, is greeting with the fans.
And that's one of the great things about Mr. Appleby is he always is interacting with the fans and the employees every day at the ballpark. Every single day I've been here, he has always been here, walking around, greeting, talking to people. That's part of his charm. He's not only a CEO, but he's very friendly on top of it.
Yeah, he's such a great man.
As the count goes to 2-1 now on DeAndre Clark. We try to exude friendliness here at Jimmy John's Field. We want the fans to have a great experience on and off the field. As that ball's called for a strike, it'll be 2-2 now.
Indeed, you're right, Brian.
Well, I mean, in general, people should try to be nice whenever. But having that as your philosophy for a workplace, because for us, this is a workplace as well as a place to have fun. It's a smart move because by hiring smiling faces, you improve the experience for the fans who come and interact with the employees.
You always want to keep that smile on your face, and that's what I always do when I come here.
Well, it's easy to smile
Yes.
when we get to intern doing baseball.
Mm-hmm. Love this sport.
That's for sure. DeAndre Clark strikes out looking. That'll be the second strikeout looking for Carl Bryce this inning. And now it's 2 outs with 1 man on.
That will be his 4th strikeout, I believe.
I believe that is his 3rd. It is his 4th. You were right, Dan. You got me.
Another mistake for Brian.
Just add it to the list, buddy.
It's okay.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight.
Every day is a new day.
That's for sure. Here comes the pitch. That ball is fouled left side of the home plate over the netting. And I'm assuming because of the sound effect of the broken glass, it went out of the stadium. Can't really tell from my angle. But so it'll be 0-1 now on Gerard Hernandez. I always like pronouncing that, Hernandez.
Yeah. Or Rodriguez.
Maybe it's the Z. As the 0-1 pitch comes in. That's called for a strike because he swung at it. Be 0-2. Imagine that. You swing at a pitch and it's called for a strike. Who would have guessed?
You did.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled over top of us behind home plate. So it'll remain 0-2 on the count.
The foul ball out of the stadium once again.
Gerard Hernandez swings and flies that ball into foul territory right of home plate. And out of play. No one could get that one, so it'll remain 0-2. Gomez Stewart and Maroney ran over to try and get that one. Gomez was the first one to get over to the wall, but that ball just ended up going into the patio.
Another souvenir for a fan.
Lots of them here at Jimmy John's Field. Hernandez continues to foul these balls off after getting into 0-2. Looks like he's just trying to stay alive here, make some contact. Doing a good job of it. As he swings this one, flies it way up in the air. Not even getting into the outfield, just slightly under the outfield grass. And Castro makes the catch. And that'll be it for the Beavers in the bottom of the 8th inning. But the Beavers still have the lead, so it's going to be last call for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers at the top of the 9th inning, with the bottom of the lineup coming up, Figueroa, O'Brien, and then the leadoff man, Joe Maroney. Those are their last chance to tie this ball game. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 9th inning. We have our closer coming in as the fans finish cheering up, or finish singing YMCA. Jake Welch takes the mound to close out this game.
I believe we've seen Welch before this season.
We have, I believe.
He's out of Spencerport, New York. Notre Dame College. He's coming out of.
Figueroa is heading to the plate now. He is 0 for 3 today, reached on a fielder's choice and a error. So his first pitch he sees is going to be a ball for 1-0, as Jake Welch looks to finish out this game. This ball called for a strike, going to be 1-1 now, evens up the count.
Could be his first save of the year.
Well, he hopes so, and
you never know.
He's trying to get the Beavers their first win of the year as well, as the next pitch was called for a ball, so it'll be 2-1.
You do not want to be Francisco Rodriguez, that is.
Although Fernando Rodney has not been that great either, as that ball is hit up the middle. Martinez gets the ball and then throws over to first to Gonzalez. That'll be the first out of the inning for the Beavers. Now just 2 outs away from clinching their first win of the season. Coming up to the plate now is the number 9 hitter, Brandon O'Brien, who has 2 for 3 today despite being the number 9 hitter, including an RBI. He's also stolen a base.
Walking up to that Irish music because,
Well, Brandon O'Brien.
Yep.
If your last name's O'Brien, you got to be Irish. As he looks at a pitch outside, so it'll be 1-0 on him. Here's his 1-0 pitch. That ball is called for a strike right down the middle. Be 1-1. That ball is chopped foul, just foul, past the first base line. So it'll be 1-2 now on Brandon O'Brien. Jake Welch finishing the game with just 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 earned, 0 walks, and a strikeout. Only going 1 inning, so he did pretty well.
That was Brian Heldman, that is.
Brian Heldman, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Here's the 1-2, and that ball is singled into the gap, but cut off by DeAndre Clark over there in left field. So now there's 1 man on with 1 out. I just get these names confused in my head sometimes.
Yeah. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone has those days. Is that what you were going for? Did you
do that? Yeah, I gotta pull out a little Hannah Montana there.
You're killing me, Smalls. And Joe Maroney steps into the batter's box. He is 1 for 3 today. He struck out in the first, hit a double and an RBI in the second, and flew out the next 2 times. It is now 1-0 on Joe Maroney. Next pitch he sees is a ball as well, so it's going to be 2-0.
Another quiet night for Maroney, striking out back in the first, like you were saying, and only had that 1 hit in the second.
That double for the RBI was big for the team, though.
Yeah, that is true.
As he comes for the 2-0 pitch, that one is a ball, so now it's 3-0.
May I have your attention, please? Krista Philbeck, please report to the box office. Krista Philbeck, please report
Now
to the
with a
box
3-0 count, I wonder if he'll take or if he'll swing here. That ball is called for a strike. He decided to take and see what he was given. He's got a little bit of room to work here, so
yeah, he does.
Might as well wait and see.
You're right there, Brian.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. That ball is called for a strike. Joe Maroney started to walk down the first base line, but the umpire disagreed.
Maroney's probably thinking, what are you saying, ump?
After a 3-0 count, Welch has worked back his way in to 3-2. Here's the pitch. That ball's fouled off behind home plate. Did you flinch on that one?
No.
Oh, okay. That one was pretty low, so.
I'm ready for it. Don't worry. I'll probably flinch a lot tomorrow. You never know.
Oh, I'll know. I'll know. I'm watching you. 3-2 pitch again. And that ball is inside for a walk. So now you got a men on first and second with 1 out. And all of a sudden, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers have gotten Jake Welch into danger here.
He certainly has.
And the leading run is at home plate now. Tying run at first. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound, and the manager's coming out to discuss with him.
Nothing going on in the Beavers bullpen. This is just to calm them down just a bit.
Well, they have a 2-run lead, so they don't have much room to work with. You can't really afford to have many more people on the mound or reach the base paths from here.
Things are starting to...
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
And now Chris Powers coming up. He's 1 for 4 today. He reached an error and has a base hit. So I wouldn't be afraid to go at Chris Power here. But I have no idea what the manager obviously said.
Obviously just to focus on the batter, not the runners.
And here is the first pitch. And that is called a ball, so it'll be 1-0 now on Chris Power. The second pitch is in for another ball, so it's going to be 2-0 now on Chris Power. And Joe Maroney is getting himself into, Jake Welch is getting himself into quite a jam here with all these balls he's throwing.
Yeah, if he walks Power here, things are definitely getting interesting.
And this one's in for a strike, so now it's 2-1 on Chris Power. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and swung on and missed by Chris Powers. So now it's 2-2, even count. Jake Welch keeping a cautious eye on that runner at second. Quick kick. Can't talk today. And that one is swung on and missed. So that's going to be a strikeout for Jake Welch, his first of the evening. And now we are just 1 out away from a Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers win, their first of the season.
It's not over yet, Brian.
It's never over until that last out happens, until the fat lady sings, as they say. And Cam Stewart's up, and he is 0 for 4 today, hitting into 3 ground balls, one of which was a double play, and the other one was a swinging strikeout. And the first pitch to him is inside, but it's called a strike, so it's going to be 0-1. And now the Beavers are just 2 strikes away from having their first win. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one is in a similar location, but called for a ball this time. So it's going to be 1-1.
Just missed that square.
And with just 2 strikes away, I'd imagine Jake Welch is focusing solely on the batter here, not so much on the runners, as he just wants to get these 2 strikes as the 1-1 comes home. Called for a strike, and he is pounding the inside of that strike zone.
Yes, that was a backdoor breaking ball.
Because that's three consecutive pitches that have been inside, 2 of which have been called for a strike, and the Beavers are just 1 strike away from winning this ball game. That ball is low and outside, so that'll be 2-2. All right, here comes the 2-2 pitch. That ball is low and inside this time, 3-2. So now it's a full count, 1 strike away from win. Runners in at first and second. 1 swing in the back can change the entire game here, Dan, in the top of the 9th inning.
Yes, it can, Brian.
Here comes the pitch, and that ball is high and inside, called for a ball. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Now you start biting your fingernails.
If I was Jake Welch, I'd be a little concerned. Or if I was the manager, I'd be a little concerned of Jake Welch.
That's his second walk of the inning. This is interesting.
There's been a base hit and 2 walks. His control has been a little iffy here this inning.
I'm at the edge of my seat now.
Well, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the Hoppers down by 2 here. That ball is way inside, and that's going to be a 1-0. He's been pounding the inside of that strike zone, like I mentioned, but more or less have been all called balls so far. I don't think Jake Welch really wants to give any of these batters anything to really hit, but at the same time, it's kind of shooting himself in the foot.
Yes.
With Casey, and that ball is lined out. What a fantastic sliding play by Gonzalez to end the ball game and give the Bloomfield Birmingham Beavers their first win of the season. That ball was a zinger. Looked like it was going to split the gap between Rollis and Gonzalez at first and second, but Gonzalez made a nice sliding play to catch that ball before it reached the outfield.
It definitely was a interesting top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, we had a couple of walks, a hit, we had a ground out, a strikeout, and a line out. And we're going to tally up our total stats here, and we're going to come back in a second and give you our thoughts on the ball game. everyone. Welcome back to this ball game. Well, it is over now. The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers beat the Eastside Diamond Hoppers 6-4 for their first victory of the season, also breaking the Diamond Hoppers' unbeaten streak. They are now 3-1, while the Beavers improved to 1-2 on the season. And our pitcher of the game, which goes, the honors automatically go to the winning pitcher, is Randy Wynn. And, well, Dan, what do you think of Randy Wynn's performance today?
A lot better than his first outing. He went 5 innings, and, he only gave up those 4 runs, but, he was in the ball game when the Beavers started striking in that 5th inning. It was a long 5th inning.
It was. It definitely was.
And, having 3 strikeouts for him in this ball game, I believe it was. So, give it to him. He definitely deserved it.
Randy Wynn, he pitched well. There were 4 runs when he was out there, but none of them were earned. The Beavers behind him, his defense committed 5 errors while he was on the mound, 6 total. But the Beavers as a team were able to overcome all those errors and really put the hurt on Connor Root on the turn, Connor Root looked like he was going to have a fantastic outing.
Yeah.
He ended up only going 4 2/3 with 5 earned runs, but before that 5th inning, he was doing work. He was getting ground outs and fly outs. He was making stuff happen.
Yep.
He ended up having a poor outing as a whole.
And for the Birmingham Beavers, what a great game from DeAndre Clark.
Oh, yes.
2 for 4, 3 RBIs. What a night for him. And, of course, here at Jimmy John's Field with the spark plug player of the game.
He played very well. He went 3 for 5. He went 3 for 4. One of his plate appearances was a walk. So he had a triple with that, plated 3 RBIs. Then he had a single bunt, which plated another RBI. So he obviously earns the player of the game because that triple he hit changed the whole tide of the ball game. And he ended up, because of that, getting his team to tie. He tied the game with that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and you know what? This was a lot of errors in this game, but the Beavers,
they overcame them.
Yes, they did.
Which was important. If I were to pick a player of the game from the Diamond Hopper side, I would definitely pick Carl Bryce.
Yes.
The reliever came in and he pitched 2 1/3 innings, only gave up a single hit, and walked 1 and struck out 4. Unfortunately, his offense on the other side of it couldn't get it done for him, but he did a very good job.
Yeah, he did a great job coming in for Michael Gomez after he was struggling. And yeah, I'm going to have to go with him as well, Brian.
Yep. Well, that'll be it for us at Jimmy John's Field. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a 7:05 start, and it's fireworks night here at the ballpark.
It's fireworks night, so be here. We'll be here. Hopefully you all tune in.
And we have, tomorrow night, a great matchup. We have the Utica Unicorns versus the Wowie Mammoths.
My boys, the Unicorns. So we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. We hope you tune in. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm Brian Fisher with my color guy here, Dan Dobler, and we will check you guys next time.